Thank you so much for staying with us for our continuing coverage of Debby at this 11 o'clock hour.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about here to tell you about. We do want to tell you the latest information about this system. The latest developments include Wilson County. A tornado death has brought Debby's death toll in several states now to a total of 7 people. We've seen approaching 20 tornado warnings spawned from Debby so far today in our viewing area. Duke Energy is reporting more than 35,000 outages right now in our area. WRAL's crews tracking the storm in our studio. We're live on the ground. We're across several counties. We are monitoring all the conditions out there using all of the equipment that we have available to us. And our Skycam network, one of them, we have dozens of cameras out there for us.
We're going to check in once again with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. A tornado warning just expired. And Elizabeth, this whole morning has been an outbreak of tornado warnings.
It really has. We've had 3 confirmed tornadoes that we know have done damage, but just so many warnings, which is somewhat typical. We see these bands of rain coming inland with a tropical system, and they interact with the land, and there's friction involved. And so we have spin-up tornadoes that happen. And it's been this band this morning that has caused all the problems, just that one band, and that band has been very slowly lifting northward. So it started off down across parts of Wayne County to Wake County, and then it moved across to Wilson County, and now it's getting a little closer to the Virginia line. But boy, it's been a slow mover. The rainfall has been a big story with us for us this morning as well. Lots of flooding that's ongoing right now. Let's switch over to Weather 3. We're going to talk about what some of the numbers are. We've had 17 tornado warnings and 3 confirmed tornadoes. And of course, we've started our coverage at about 2:17 this morning. We take a live look at Rocky Mount Mills, and of course that's a place where we've seen a lot of heavy rain falling. Again, if we can move on over to Weather 3, that would be great. This is on Weather 3, we have a look at our flash flood warnings, which are most of the viewing area right now, and we do have that level 2 risk for severe storms that continues today, especially in our eastern counties. So more tornado warnings are certainly a possibility. Instead of damaging winds being the biggest threat today, it's tornadoes. How much more rainfall? Anywhere from 2 to 4 more inches are possible, especially in our northern counties. Watch Futurecast. That's where the heavy rain is at lunchtime, and it begins to taper off a little bit down south. Here's 5 o'clock. We're still dealing with some scattered showers during the afternoon and overnight. But a cold front comes sweeping through on Friday, and eventually by lunchtime or early afternoon, it's going to push all that rain out. Now, Friday's still going to be a little on the breezy side. So we've had some trees fall. We could have a few more tonight and into the day tomorrow because it will remain breezy. Right now, we're seeing gusts to 29 in Durham and Raleigh and to 22 in Fayetteville. We've had some gusts already up to around 40-45 miles per hour. Temperature-wise, we're just going to hold it right there in the mid-70s. And the other thing that we're watching for as we get into the weekend is the potential for some river flooding. And I'll show you the map where we'll see the highest river levels coming up in just a bit.
All right, we do want to show you exactly what we're talking about. We have some of the pictures from around our area that we have been following all morning long. And the house in Lucama that we've been talking about all morning long collapsed on itself, second floor, dropping down to the first floor. A person inside that home was killed.
Yeah, before we get to that, we want to go to Laura Levine, who is outside Springfield Middle School in Lucama that had a lot of damage from this early morning tornado. Laura.
Renee, Jeff, yes, we've continued to see crews moving in and out of this area. Behind me, looking at the damage, utility crews now surrounding the school here at Springfield Middle School, and it's become essentially a work zone as they not only assess the damage but also work to restore power for people who live in this area. We've also been hearing from people who live in this area throughout the morning their different stories describing how they tried to protect themselves once they got that alert on their phones this morning. Some telling us they hopped in the shower, the bathtub, you name it, grabbing their kids, their blanket. Even one guy telling us that he grabbed an air mattress because he didn't know how long he was going to be stuck in the bathroom. It's really just devastating to see the damage, right? One neighbor, he told me that his daughter is actually the librarian at this school. And as you take a close look at some of the video, you can probably see the damage. We see a whiteboard with words on it, desks that are damaged, windows blown out. So just really hard. But we did hear from the superintendent, Dr. Lane Mills. He shared a statement online this morning saying that the greatest impact to the school is the 6th and 7th grade halls. So the next steps is still unclear as crews continue to assess the damage. I want you to take a listen to Seth Smith. We spoke with him early this morning as he is just located so close near where that tornado touched down.
The wife said she felt the house shake, but I didn't notice it because we were in the shower stall, and yeah, we got in our safe spot. I hadn't really considered it, you know, being a tornado. We didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, so he got really emotional speaking with me, saying that he is thankful to still be here with us today. Certainly, a lot of people have their generators on and pumping because it's still unclear when power will also be restored in this area. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Wilson County.
Wilson County hit hard by that tornado with at least 10 homes having damage and then one house collapse that ended up killing a person who was in there. But Tropical Storm Debby turning deadly there in Wilson County.
Bring it back as we cover Wake County for you here today. We can get out to Brett Neese right now, who's on the scene of another house damaged by a tree down on it. And Brett, I don't know how close you've been able to get to it. This is right near Lake Wheeler, right, in South Raleigh.
Yeah, that's right, off of Penny Road, near Lake Wheeler Road, Jeff, and it's in a home that's back in this neighborhood behind me, but due to connection issues, we had to be here. So I want to show you some video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. We got right up next to this home. It's a mobile home off of Silvers Road, and you can see this home just slicing through the back corner of that building right there. It's incredible to see all that damage up close. There was a woman inside this home when this happened. I'm told by the Wake County Sheriff's Office that she was taken to the hospital just for precautionary reasons. They just wanted to check out and make sure that her injuries were minor and that she is going to be okay. And just a few moments ago, actually, we spoke with a gentleman who cuts that woman's grass, and he drove through and asked us, is she okay? We let him know that she is okay. So this is a pretty close-knit community here off of Penny Road, all looking out for each other. But that tree, that large tree down, just shows you the scope and the power of Debby as it moves through our entire viewing area. Trees can come down in a number of areas. And the Wake County Sheriff's Office has posted a number of warnings that they have a number of flooded areas and a number of downed trees on power lines that they are checking out. And they say if you come across any of this, of course, turn around on those roads to take an alternate route. We're going to check in on some other areas here in Wake County, and we'll keep you updated. Live in Wake County, Brett Neese, WRAL News.
Certainly, she is fortunate with that tree right through the house there. And we've watched this path go to the east of Raleigh in its path, and around that area is west of Garner and South Raleigh, so a little different area with damage there, so nobody in the safe area.
Yeah, and here in the Triangle, the ground is so saturated already with all the rain that we've had, and then we're getting this rain on top of that rain, and we're watching those trees fall. And unfortunately, sometimes they fall out onto homes. Let's get to Monica Casey, who is live in Durham for us with some of the issues there. Monica.
Yeah, Renee, we have had steady rain all morning here in Durham. We are on the northwest side of town right now where there is no power. I was just speaking with a man who told me he lost power around midnight last night. If you take a look behind me, you can see this power light is out here, this traffic light. This is the intersection of NC 751 and old NC 10, Highway 70. All of these roads converge here. So this is a pretty important intersection in Durham. I want to remind you, when you come to a traffic light that's out like this, to stop at the traffic light, treat it as a four-way stop, unlike that car that just did, blowing through it. This guy's going to do the same thing. We have seen a lot of that here. This is a pretty high speed limit road as well, so people are going quickly. It's really important that you stop when you see traffic lights like this out. The Duke Energy outage map shows about 6,000 people without power in Durham and Hillsborough, Orange County. So this area of northwest and western Durham have seen quite a few power outages. We drove by a downed tree on the road. We saw, River Fire Department cleaning that up. So we are seeing crews out dealing with these these issues. This is really the lightest the rain has been this morning, which is some good news, but the wind is really starting to pick up here as well. So we will be keeping an eye on conditions. Live in Durham, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
And that new number, 6,000 people without power, 6,000 customers without power in Durham. That's a little bit of a jump from just 90 minutes ago when it was about 4,000. But certainly Wake County, Lee County, and Cumberland County seeing significant amounts of power outages right now.
Yeah, that wind kicking up is not going to help either because you can't put the buckets up if it's over 30 miles per hour. So certainly some of the readings over that. You mentioned Cumberland County there. Gilbert Bays is in Fayetteville right now with an update. Gilbert.
Well, Jeff, we have flooding out here that's been going on here on Bombay Drive, and I tell you, it's frustrating. And these storms are a matter of time. The fact is that Michael Joyner and I, our photojournalist, rode through this area about 7 o'clock this morning. Crystal clear, no problems. Now we have 3 sections of Bombay Drive that have standing water. Here, another section up there near some stilt houses. And if you flip all the way around here, Michael, you can see that this area down here is flooded as well. We've talked with several residents who are just frustrated about the flooding that happens out here. One woman who said she went out to go get something to eat and she came back and she couldn't get back to her home. This is an ongoing problem. It's had been happening for years. Another resident we talked to said he remembers going through during some of the big storms, the hurricanes, having to walk chest high in water in order to get out. So this is, once again, flip around here. We can show the road closed sign here, was put here by, I guess, the city. And when we got here,
all right, we had a little trouble with Gilbert's shot there, and we'll get back to him certainly soon enough, and we have plenty more to come here as we continue our coverage with all the tornado warnings and watches that we have had and a few touchdown in different areas. Certainly that is the precise reason why we're on the air and keeping you informed. Welcome back. Right now, there are large trees, power poles that have been falling across our area. There's one in Raleigh neighborhood where 5 trees have fallen in the last month alone. So we continue to follow this scene for you on Coronado Drive. It's right near North Hills. People who live there were jolted out of their beds by the sound of this tree crashing down onto the road.
Explosion, and I guess was this pole right there, and got out. Look at the pole was basically almost snapped in half. The tree came down, and then from there, you hear other poles. There's another one down the road that snapped in half. It's been a nice ride.
What they have been through. The homeowner says he and his family moved here a year ago. Even though Duke Power could not give him an estimated time to restore that power, he does plan to take it all in stride.
And here's one of the reasons why it's important to stay off the roads. Crews need to be able to get to storm debris to remove it as quickly as possible. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. A large tree fell across NC 55 near Old Honeycutt Road. This is in Fuquay-Varina. And WRAL learned about this around 6:30 this morning. Crews were able to remove the tree about an hour later, and thankfully no one was hurt. They're rerouting traffic there. The WRAL breaking news tracker was there as crews towed away this truck. We're told the driver drove into the downed tree on NC 55. Perhaps that was before sunrise when you couldn't see. We're told the driver was not injured, but the car, as you could see, had serious damage. So hazards on the road there when you have trees and branches falling into the road, and when it's dark and you can't see, and then also the ponding from all the rain that we've gotten this morning.
We head from Fuquay-Varina, that video there. Go back to Lucama right now. Lloyd Road, we have been covering this scene extensively. Amy Wilmoth is standing by right now. And Amy, I know that you've been there since the beginning of this morning. It's been a very difficult scene there as a man was declared dead inside the home that has collapsed down from the second story, just collapsing onto that first one. What do you know from there?
That's correct, and we do have an update for you. Crews were able just moments ago to recover the body of the victim that didn't make it. They just pulled him out, and they're still over there working, but they were able to pull out the victim.